I had a lot of high hopes for this because I feel like it would relate the most with me. The beginning is mildly interesting, and a cloudy or sunny day hit me right in the feels. At some points it feels very draggy, especially the car ride to the farm. The conversation is too casual, but I guess that's what grown-ups do. But I did relate to it, the feeling of being inadequate, crying for attention, feeling weird, lost, not certain, dreams and how quickly they can come alive and die, etc. But towards the ending, like 1 hour 40 minutes later, it started to get deep. If more of the movie was like the later part, it would be way better. In the beginning, I kind of felt like they tell the stories without any context, but later in the movie when she tells a story and it aligns with reality, it feels more relevant. This has the same innocence and relatability and average Joe vibes as Poppy Hill. I found it funny the guy was laughing the whole movie and towards the end he's like, okay, this girl is kind of crazy. Because she keeps randomly laughing and bringing up the past out of nowhere. Then his own insight was good in helping her gain a new perspective. I think she really needed that kind of closure. It really made me think. I also overthink and overanalyze about absolutely everything, and maybe it doesn't really mean anything. It's not that deep, bro. But you never thought in those situations that happened to you, how would the other person feel? And she did some overhead narration which tells us her feelings, which is also good. Nice touch in the ending when the kids lead her back to the guy. And as I was watching, I was predicting when the car drove away and the kids couldn't keep up, the camera will go to them and it will pan to her younger self. I was right. When that last guy boarded the train, I thought he would be the guy that they were talking about. It would be good closure if it was, but it wasn't. So I'm not really sure why he was there. Maybe to make people think he was that guy? Or they just don't want the train to be completely empty. I don't know. But yeah, a lot of the good meat of the movie was at the end. And the cheeks on their face make them look 20 years older. I really hate that design. They are completely normal and young looking, but when they laugh, those cheeks come out and they look so ugly. It makes it more harder to relate because she feels way older and not 27. Her younger self has a really sweet and innocent voice. I really liked it. And the dad is the embodiment of chill, but he didn't do much, but I guess that's what it was like back then. When he talks, everyone listens. He's the provider. His say is the final word, no exceptions. This movie made me feel something, and contemplate and wonder about my own scenarios too. But I didn't feel the romance at all in this movie. It felt like they were just friends. She just told him stories and they physically didn't really do much. Well, they did do farming, but nothing really happened. Nothing to test their friendship or love or any conflict. He's just a nice tour guide. I wouldn't call it love. It definitely didn't feel like it. No deep connection between them at all throughout this movie. But of course they needed to end up together. Sure, the more she opens up to him, the more she will feel attracted to him. But he only gave deep insight towards the end. It just felt like, oh, because they were always together, so they need to end up together. That kind of feeling. But there was no like romance or tension or whatever. So the relationship felt kind of stale. You know what? I think it'll be even better if they didn't end up together. And they just ended the movie having more insights on life or whatever. And now as I rewatch some of the scenes, if the whole story was more from the childhood, it would be more enjoyable. It felt like it had more intensity and personality than her current self. Well, of course, because I'm comparing a 10-year-old with a 27-year-old. But that middle part of the movie, it was too casual, too draggy, it felt so long. The stories and art style of a childhood is so charming and relatable. I really feel if most of the movie was like that, a little more childhood stories and a little less unnecessary adult stuff, and the stories all relate from the past to the present, it would be way better. At first my rating is 6.5, but now I change it to 7.5. Mostly because of the childhood stories and the animation and the voice acting. It's so relatable, so charming, and so good.